All right, here we go. Roofing OP. We are going to learn how to set up a calendar. So there's two ways you can get to it. So the first way is to just click on your calendar here in the menu. It'll come up and then you can click on calendar settings. That will take you there. The other way you can get to it is you just come down here to settings and you go to your calendar. So we're going to go that way. You have a lot of different and I encourage you to click on all these things and go through them all. We're only going to do one right now. We are going to go create a calendar and we are going to create a round robin. And I like to use these because they will automatically create a Zoom link when somebody books a call. So we're going to go with that. We're going to select it. We're going to go in here and we're going to call this one a test calendar. You can call it obviously whatever you want. You can add a description. Don't mind my spelling. There we go. Perfect. This is if you want to select a team member, you can select a team member right there. You can add a custom URL to your calendar. Now you can go like this and it'll say, oh, that slug's already taken. So what you will need to do is just come up with a unique one and look at that, unique slug. You can decide how long your meeting duration is. You can do minutes or hours. Oh, you can't go over that. You can't go over 12. So we'll just say it's 1 hour long. You can determine what days you're going to be available, what times. And then if you want to go into the advanced settings, oh, you gotta confirm this. Oh, we're gonna select this person here, and then we're gonna go into our advanced settings. So now we've created the calendar. Look at here we are. I'm going to save it just because. So you have meeting details. You can create a logo here in the details if you want. Your calendar name that we already did. This is where we saw on the other page where the groups. We're not going to worry about that right now. And we go like this. So the person that fills it out will be their contact name. Just uh, a Zoom call. You can optimize for availability, whatever you need to do. However, the priority is, I'm going to say these are high priority. And this is important right here. We want to go in here and we want to select Zoom. You want to make sure we'll do that in another video how to connect it. You can also do Google Meet, phone. Right now, we're just going to pick phone. Super easy. You can pick whatever color you want. I like the blue. Then we go down to availability. This is what we already set, but here we can add it in. You can even add extra dates and hours. So let's say there's a holiday or something that you want to make sure you're not available for. You would select it in there. This is if you want to have a reoccurring meeting, the meeting interval. So what this is how much time in between. And if you hover that, look at that, between booking slots. So we really want to make sure that's real easy for you. How long is the meeting duration? 1 hour. There's 30 minutes in between, so you don't get booked. You know what? I'm going to go 1 hour in between because I don't want my meetings on top of each other. Then I'm gonna go down here. How much minimum notice do you need? Can they book the same day or do they have to wait a day? So if you want them to book the same day, then you just keep it like it is. Minimum scheduling, you don't put anything there. You can schedule today. Maybe you don't want it. You want to make sure they can only schedule 3 hours from now. So that way you have time to prep. So you can go like that. You can do the date range. I like to go 2 weeks out, but you can do whatever you'd like. And this is just so they can only book for the next 2 weeks and nothing outside of that. Maximum bookings per day, that's pretty self explanatory. We do have the icon here. And how many per slot per user. So pretty easy. A buffer time. So again, a buffer time is how long in between. I definitely like to do 1 hour of buffer time. And that's before a meeting. And then after a meeting, same. I like to have an hour of buffer time. So that way no meetings get booked in that. This is pretty cool if you want to collect payments. So you want to come down here, you can do, obviously, you select which form you want to use. So you'd want to create a form. We're going to do that in a different video. And you can pre-populate fields if you have them in your contact form here in Roofing OP. You have a consent checkbox. It says right here exactly that you want to receive information from this company. I allow them to add a guest. That is up to you. With a typical meeting that you're not charging for, adding a guest is a great idea. If you're doing something where each person has to pay, then definitely don't add a guest if you want to integrate the payment option in here. You can also send them to a confirmation page. If you have a redirect, a thank you page, you can do a redirect URL. You can enter that URL. I highly recommend that if you have that ability. If not, it'll just give them a message. Thank you for your appointment. We'll contact you shortly or whatnot. If you have a Facebook pixel, highly recommend putting that in there. And then auto confirm new calendar meetings. It should be automatically on, but you definitely want to have that checked. So we come here, we have an acknowledgement email. So what this is we'll say, hey, we got your meeting. This is when it's going to be and all that. Who should receive that? The person that filled out the form, the contact, whoever the assigned user is, very important. So that way, whoever we assigned earlier will get a contact. And then any additional, like if you say have a manager that also wants to get those every time a meeting is booked, even though it's not the assigned user, then you can put their emails here. We're not going to do that. I typically just do contact and assigned users. Allow Google to send invitation and updates if you're connected with your Google Calendar. Great idea. Assign contacts to the calendar team members when the appointment is booked, of course. And then if they already have an assigned user, we're going to skip that. So we want to allow rescheduling, allow canceling. They'll be able to do that through here. Very simple process. You don't even have to do anything with that if you want to allow it. And here we go. You have the classical calendar. I like the Neo because then you can customize everything. You can change your colors, your background color. Let's say on the background you want it to match the gray that's on a website or something, whatever that background color is. So if you can get the hex code, you can enter it right here, and then you have your hex code. Button text, whatever you want this to say. Schedule your meeting, get your product, watch your video, whatever it is. And then you can have this. What is it going to display on there? Your calendar details, description, the title that we put in earlier. So let's say you're good with this. I'm going to save it. And obviously, this is reset to default. I try to avoid that. Oh, we saved it and it put us out. So you want to click over here, go to edit. I wasn't quite done. I want to go back here to customization. And let's look at preview the widget. So this is what it's gonna, oh, I must have left the gray background, but that's okay for this example. We can always go back in and change that. Here's your calendar. This is where your description, your title of what it would be, what the current date is, the time, and this is where they'll be able to select it. So they go like this. I want to do it on Wednesday the 13th, 8 a.m. Super easy. Select that time. It'll take them in here. If you have their contact already populated possibly in your calendar, then it'll pre-populate. Otherwise, they will put it in here. Their name, email, phone, additional information. And they'll have to click that, and then they'll click schedule meeting, and it will give them that thank you notice, and they will get followed up with an email. So calendars are fairly simple, not too much to them. You can also look here and it will give you different information for support. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out roofingop.com for more information.